Before getting into this discussion, one thing should be made crystal clear. Andy Murray is a true champion. He has a heart of a lion. He also possesses some very unique natural talents which set him apart and make him a very special player that he is. But, along with being blessed with those amazing talents, he is also burdened by some fundamental flaws, technical in nature, and certainly of his own making. In the highly competitive environment, where the margins are so thin, and the greatest of all times are constantly breathing down your neck, even a minor thing can become a factor. Sooner or later, these minor technical deficiencies turn into a major liability and can become the main contributor to slowing down one's advancement. One of such weaknesses is Andy's backhand drive. From the standpoint of mechanics, his backhand differs fundamentally from his forehand in the way he propels his arms. On the forehand side, his arm with the racket would be propelled by the force of his torso's momentum. Look at how his arm is being thrown into a swift and easy swing only by the movement of the torso. The thrust of the torso, in turn, is created by his legs pushing off the ground. But his backhand mechanics is fundamentally different. On that side, Andy's torso generates no momentum whatsoever. It barely moves throughout the stroke. His hips do not actively pivot, and his legs, instead of pushing off the ground, are being dragged along, more like a ballast. Such disorderly actions of his legs and the lower body are incapable of generating the necessary momentum of the torso, which could have been converted into the racket acceleration. So, it is his arms and his shoulders which have to pick up the slack and push the racket forward. Unlike his forehand, where the torso, shoulders, and the hips act as a single, massive block to generate a powerful momentum, the force of which ultimately swings the arm. On his backhand side, only the shoulder and the arm's muscles push the racket along the best they can, never able to generate an adequate amount of racket velocity on their own. Lacking the racket velocity, his backhand remains mostly a deflective, and thus a defensive stroke, never a full-fledged drive. For comparison, this is Justine Henon's backhand stroke. Mechanically, it works exactly like Andy's forehand. Her whole torso, with her hips and shoulders, move as a single block, which is being thrust in order to swing the arm. Thus, her arm with the racket reaches the highest possible velocity, turning her backhand not only into the most elegant stroke, but also into a very formidable weapon. The effect of such deficient mechanics is evident. While Andy can easily blast away his forehands like that, you'd never see him attempting anything even remotely similar on his backhand side.
Nebraska, a valiant effort.